talk about it in liters because that's a really, really big number, right? Like this is like a liter, right? What you guys brought in for science is 2-liter bottles. So normally we talk in slightly larger measurements so we can use a smaller number. So as we talk about the Great Lakes, we're going to talk in cubic miles. Now, I want you to take a moment to try to visualize a cubic mile. This is 10 centimeters cubed, so it's 1,000 cubic centimeters. So that the label of this is cubic centimeters. So we have a bunch of the little cubes inside of it. But a cubic mile would have to be a mile on every edge. There are 4,930 cubic miles in the Great Lakes. Here's a visual for how big a cubic mile is. Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco is about 1.7 miles long. So if you want to visualize a cubic mile, that's the Golden Gate Bridge. This is how big a cubic mile would be. Yeah, that's a freighter ship, right? Like the big shipping containers, the giant this is huge. Cubic miles are ginormous units of measurement. Like literally insanely large to think about. Kind of scary, honestly. But all right, so this problem that we're going to do before we head out to the family room, take a moment to read over this. It is on your paper. There are some fun facts, and then it gets down to the amount of water in Lake Superior. So there's a couple fun facts on your paper. Then it gets down to Lake Superior. And I want you guys to tell me what you think is important enough that we would probably highlight it. And then we're going to start to make some expressions. Maybe some equations. But my highlighters are out in the family room. So sorry, we don't have them right now, but you'll have them out in the family room with you. Just practice. I just wanted to get out of this room and spice things up a little bit. I'm not sure. Great question. No Lane today? Okay, Emery, tell me one thing on your paper that you think is worth highlighting. I did not plug in that camera yet.
The amount of Lake Superior, that was like 720 cubic miles.
So let's see if this works now. That Lake Superior is 1720. So guys, that visual of the cubic mile we just saw, and they said Superior is the biggest. So that makes sense. Right? Didn't they say Superior is the biggest?
Yeah.
So, wait, 1720, is it just 1720?
No, it's like 17 cubic more.
Ooh, I gotta keep highlighting more than Lake Michigan. So wait, is that telling me about what S equals? Or what? Oh, guys, we should probably go ahead and write out HOMES here because that's the acronym to remember the Great Lakes. Huron, Ontario, Michigan, Ishigan. Maybe we shouldn't write the M. Sorry, I know it's the Ohio thing. We don't like Michigan.
No, we do not.
Erie and Superior. So wait, this what I highlighted in yellow. Should that be for M equals or should that be for S equals? Water in Lake Superior. This is going to be S equals. So for Superior, what am I gonna write, Sophie? Yeah, and it's nicer if we put the M first to say, all right, so to get this one, once I know what M is, I do M plus 1,720 because they said more than. I want you guys take a minute or two, try to figure out if you can write out the expressions for any of the other lakes based off what they tell us.
Okay. I don't like the table.
What? The table?
Yeah.
The probably just needs to tighten, so I'll try to get to it later. Well, I also wanted to check with Miss Howard on what she wanted done with my room. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, so for your science class, because it's blocked with ELA, because they're doing like the water unit thing.
So Friday will we still be in here?
Friday, there is no math class, by the way, so you all can celebrate if you want. You won't hurt my feelings. We're taking math off the schedule because 8th grade has math off the schedule. 8th grade rotates what classes are off on Fridays, where we normally just do like connections, global cultures, connection science or global culture. So we just do things different because we're different teams. But I'm going to give you guys a day off. I went ahead and said I'll take,
What do we have doing math?
I think social studies is going to take the whole block. None of that matters. We should get back to solving this. Matt, tell me one other thing I could write down here. Ooh, Huron equals M minus, because it's less than. So M minus 330. I feel like I'm missing something. Raiden, how are they talking about 3 lakes when I only wrote down stuff for 2 of them?
M equals M because it's Lake Michigan, Lake Huron, and Lake Superior.
Yeah, they only in this problem are talking about Huron, Michigan, and Superior. So unfortunately, Erie and Ontario got left out here. But they said all together, the 3 lakes. So what could I do now? Since they said all together, add them all up. How many M's do I have? 3M plus, what about my constants? Now be careful, one of them's negative. And my calculators are out in the family room right now too. So anyone got a calculator on them that can do 1720 minus 3? We could do this, guys. Let's take the 30 away first. Where are we at if we take the 1690? Now take 300 away. 1390. And what do they tell us about those 3 lakes? 4,930. Like, guys, please practice this with me. This is what we're about to go do in the family room. So we're not talking about Ontario or Erie, unfortunately. We could cross them out if we don't want to get confused. So now I've got this equation built over here, but I need to start working to get the M by itself. Ezekiel, can you tell me what you think we could do if you can channel back to last week of what could we do? Yeah, we're going to get rid of that constant from both sides because that's the safer option first. And now we get 3M equals, I guess I'll calculate that for us since I left. Do you have it? 3,540. Yeah, 3540. And now, Sam, what could I do to finish this out and get to just M?
You could divide it by 3.
Yeah, we can divide by 3 on both sides. And we get 1180. Now, wait a minute. They ask us how much water is in each of those 3 lakes. I only found M for Michigan. How could I figure out the other ones?
You just kind of replace the M with 1180.
Yeah, we substitute, guys. You could plug in 1180 where you had M. You could plug in 1180 where you had M. And when you have a calculator, your life will be a whole lot easier to try and do that. Any questions on what we just did? Highlighters are pretty darn useful to highlight the important parts. A calculator is pretty darn useful to calculate the important parts. Your goal out in the family room is one at a time to solve each of the pieces from each of the 5 different equation situations. We're not just doing this today. Also planning to do it tomorrow. Tomorrow we might be in the science room, but probably still out in the family room as long as it works with everybody else. So, as you think you are done with one of them, come and check your values with me. Okay, I'm going to spread out like A, B, C, D, E out in the family room, and there's like little, like larger printed copies. But also, they're on the back of your resource page that you're going to get from me when we go out to the family room. So, I got some people doing their homework instead of listening to directions. Once you have your paper, I don't care if you work at the big round tables where I'm going to like put the stuff, but the highlighters and calculators are going to be at the big round tables. Okay, so if you want those, you got to be at the big round tables. If your group goes somewhere else to just use just your resource page and like flip back and forth, that's fine. But you got to take your own like highlighters, calculators, whatever if you want. Cool? All right, grab whatever you think you need. Graph paper would probably be a really good idea. And let's head to the family. I should probably stop my recording because that would be silly.